Hello! Today we are doing conversions and painting many Maggotcrown Ogres. These are Reaper miniatures, absolutely fantastic miniatures. These are from the Bones Black range. There's one in the box. Hi Phil! Another exciting episode with Michael Mordor! Okay, let me show you what I'm up to. What I've done so far is I have already primed all these ogres. I got 12 of them there, and they've all had a black primer. But I've got one here which I want to make into a champion. Champion or boss. It's a very nice sculpt, and it's also a very simple paint because again it's all metal. So we're talking dry brushing and ink washes and a bit of edge eye highlighting over the highest areas of the miniature. I'm going to be mounting him on a 50mm base. I've also got some clay in here, but today we're using some Fimo Air hardening clay, and I keep that in this sealed box so it doesn't go off. Now for the conversion today, what I'm going to be doing, if I can find all my little tools, is I am going to be replacing the head, and I'm going to replace this weapon here. I'll take the back end off there and all this, and we're going to replace it with one of the weapons from these sprues. Now I have a nice selection of sprues to use. If you're ever doing conversions, you can get all the weapons you need if you want to go into the conversion scene, and it's very exciting when you start doing that to your miniatures. I've got a link to Reaper miniatures, and I'm going to just see. I'm going to see if it works in chat. I'm going to copy and link it in your chat. Now this is no, it's not going to let me do it. Oh, you bummer. Okay. Okay, anyway, the link is, it's reaperminiatures.com, and all you do is you just type in weapons, and on their search it'll give you all the weapon sprues, and you can get metal ones like so. So they do little packs of weapons. You can get wizards, staffs, all sorts of stuff. Anything you could think of, Reaper Miniatures have got it for their collections. Now, one of the last Bones Kickstarters I backed must have been either Bones 3 or 4, I can't remember now, but they came with a load of sprues which were weapon sprues. So what I'm going to do today is, you can see there's some beautiful weapons on here, and I'm going to convert my champion and give him 2 swords to dual weld in battle. Now for the head, I have this pack of skulls from Games Workshop. It's an absolutely must buy if you want skulls for your bases. But what happens is they've got lots of lovely different sized skulls, and they just happen to have this one there, which is just the perfect size to add to our miniature. So what I've got here is the sprue. I don't know if is it in focus. Yes. I'm going to take this one off here, and I'm going to use that as the alternative head, and I'm going to give him a lower jaw with his jaw open, looking like he's going ah. So I'm going to try and work on that one today as well. Now I just tried sending out the link to Reaper miniatures, and it didn't work in my chat for some reason. So maybe next time. I can always leave it under the videos. Hi Corey, how you doing? Okay, so let's make a start on this ogre, because we are only running for an hour a show. I got some snips. These are from Games Workshop. You can use any snips you want, as long as they're sharp enough to take the pieces of plastic off you need. Now the Bones Black is a harder plastic, so what we're doing is going to the back of the miniature, where the back of the handle is, and we're going to snip that straight off. There we are, all gone. And we're going to do the same on the front. Okay, so we've got a nice little crafting knife. There we are. And we're just taking off any excess plastic. Now you can drill little holes into the plastic to add your weapons, but we don't need to today because they're very light, and there's lots of room here to actually place the weapon. I mean, the way that he's got the hand grip there, it's going to be very easy to stick the sword hilt into the hand. We'll take off our skull. So this is the skull we're going to be using for the head conversion. I'll leave links in the YouTube video below to all the places you can get all the little bits and bobs for what I'm using today. It's quite tricky because I got quite big stodgy fingers. I'm just trying to show you what I'm doing. I'm just cleaning off the skull. Now it's an enlarged skull, so it works perfect for the champion. I mean, this is the Maggotcrown Ogre normal sized head, so I'm just enlarging it just a little. So that's our head, and we're going to go for some swords. So I'm going to take these two swords here. I think they'll look fantastic on him. Again, using our snips. Okay, these this sprue came with the Kickstarter from Games Workshop. Sorry, from Reaper Miniatures. Oh, Games Workshop. That's a nice. No, it's Carlos. I just said Games Workshop. I was like, no! What it is, this, with the Reaper Bones Kickstarters, I'm not sure if it was the Reaper Bones 3 or 4 that I backed, but these came with the Kickstarter. Now, they haven't been released. I don't think these ones have been released, but you can get all the metal versions for your conversions on the Reaper website. So you just type in weapons in the search engine on Reaper, and it will show you all the packs of weapons you can use to convert all your miniatures, which is awesome, especially if you love metal as well. But today we're using the plastic. So there we are, that's our weapons. We've got two little broadswords that we're going to use to make him dual weld, and we've got one little head. I don't know if they'll release these little weapon sets. I mean, I've used them so much. They're awesome little kits. But like I say, they do have the metal on the website. Right then, okay, what I'm going to do first, before I stick the swords on, is I'm going to get this little head sculpted, because I don't want to play around with that before I stick on the swords. So all I've got here, this is Fimo clay, just a tiny bit of Fimo clay, but this is the air drying Fimo clay. You can put it in the microwave and it'll harden in the microwave, or you can just air dry it. So I mean, I'm not going to get this one painted today, but I can at least get the conversion set so you can see how the conversion goes. So all I'm going to do is, it's a nice soft clay. It's very pliable. I'm just going to work out the size I need by putting it in the little hole in the head. Now I want the skull to be oversized because he's a champion. I I want him to be seen in the battlefield more than the other ogres. So I'm just going to take off what I need. A bit more. I don't know if I can do this on screen to show you. And it's bright white, so my light's reflecting off it. What I'm trying to do is get a lower jaw for the skeleton, because this is going to be the this will be the base of the skull, and the skull will be on like so, and then his mouth will be open and he's like screaming. So what we're doing is using our little sculpting tool. Let's see if I can get closer. Let me get my focus in for you guys better. It's very hard to see. There we go. So what I'm trying to do is give the skull a bottom jaw where it's kind of open. Very simply. And we can do indent inside the mouth, just pushing down. And that'll give us the inside of the mouth. And like I say, this is air drying, so I just leave it and it'll dry hard. There is a little bit of shrinkage with the Fimo clay, not a lot, but enough that you have to take in consideration. So what I've done, I've given him an overbite, as you could call it. And that will shrink a little bit once it's dried. See, I'll go in there like so then. At the minute it looks awful, but once you've got the primer on and the paint, it changes. It looks dramatically different. So that would be in like so. I'm going to just let that dry a tiny bit more, and then I can sculpt on it a little bit later. As you can see, that's another skull with his mouth open. I don't know if you can see it well on the camera. Okay, I'm going to take the head out now because I'm going to stick those swords on. Now for the swords, just move this clay. Again, very simple. I mean, this is all basic stuff. I mean, you know, you see people doing their conversions and it's amazing what you do. I'm just showing you a simple basic way where you could just do a weapon swap. I mean, you could add a shield, you could add backpacks, water bottles, you could add a standard bearer, all sorts of stuff. Conversions are fantastic, especially if you're doing large armies like this and they're all the same miniature in the same pose. You want one or two, you know, you could have a ogre shaman or, you know, the champion. So you want one or two miniatures just to you know, give you your commanders, and of course you spend a little bit more time painting those two miniatures because they're your main characters. That's why this one would be going on a 50mm base with a nice base to it. You want it to stand out in the battlefield. Okay, let me see. So what I want to do, let's see if I can get you, there you go, focus, is this sword is going to be in this hand. So I have to cut the hilt off and just stick him in there. So again, with the snips, I'm just taking the hilt off the thing. I'm going to leave a tiny bit of the hilt so it's got something to glue onto the hand. So there we are. And we're going to do the same with the other sword. Let's just take that little bit of flashing off there. So what we're going to do is we're going to stick these on here, you're just using super glue into the hand slots. So I use liquid super glue. This is Loctite super glue. And we just add the super glue to the hand, just a tiny drop, and we're just going to place that sword and wait for it to stick. Just there. Can take a couple of seconds to stick. Sometimes it can take a couple of minutes. So how is everybody? There we are. That'll probably fall off now and let go of it. Just gonna just hold it like that for a few seconds just to make sure it's okay. I got something quite special to show you all today. I had my miniatures arrive from Gorilla River Brush, so I'm going to show you the miniatures he sent me. A phenomenal painter, absolutely blown me away what I've seen. I mean, absolutely wow. Yes. So I'll be showing you that a bit later. Right. There we go. Okay, so that's the one sword stuck on. And we're going to add another one to the other hand here. Let me just clean that up a little bit more. It's another boiling hot day in Scotland. Really hot today. Yeah, I do love doing conversions. I used to do it all the time with the old Warhammer kits, you know. You get with the old Warhammer back in the early 80s, 90s, you'd get all your sprues. Well, you still do get all your sprues, and they always give you loads and loads of extra parts on the sprue, and you end up having a bits box just full of tons of bits. So you end up using them for your dioramas and all sorts of stuff. So nothing goes to waste. I mean, even the sprues themselves, I used to cut the sprues up into tiny little bits and use them as rubble piles. Save the world, save, you know, no wastage. Carlos, you're too fit, my friend, too fit. Yeah. See, look at that. I actually prefer the ogre with the two swords than I do the mace. Right. There you go. That's your weapon conversions. That's simple. All I've done is added two swords, and you've got an almost completely different looking miniature. Okay, so I'm going to work a little bit more on this skull now. Need to get the focus again. So what I'm trying to do is get the bottom of the jaw and get it in line with the rest of the mini, and just try and give it just a tiny bit of form. You don't want it to look too crappy compared to the rest of the mini. when you try sculpting things for yourself, it's an awesome thing to do, and it's great fun when you do your own sculpting, but it makes you really respect the sculptors that make all our miniatures for us, especially the old school sculptors. I mean, nowadays everything is done on the PC in a computer program, but the old school way is to sculpt your miniatures by hand, and then they would be cast and then printed out. There'd be cast metal, and they were fantastic and unique. There's nothing wrong in the new 3D printed versions, 3D printed. No problem with people doing it on the PC, but I just found that the old way is the best way in my books. And same with the old movies. I mean, look at Star Wars. I grew up with Star Wars, and it was all 3D. Everything was made. The puppets were made. You know, Jabba the Hutt was really made, sculpted. Now everything is CGI. You don't get hardly any maquettes, as you call it. You know, and that's my favourite. You know, seeing what people can make. But now everything is on PC, and it's a shame. I mean, it takes talent to design all these things, but give me a sculpt any day, you know. See some sculpt, you know. Yeah, Yoda. I hope this is okay for you today. I mean, I know it's I'm just sculpting a tiny little skull, so it's not easy for you guys to really see what I'm doing. I just wanted to show you how to convert your miniatures to just give them that extra flair on your tabletop, and for me this is awesome fun. And you will have to watch me. Okay, I'm not going to do much more on this one, because otherwise I'm not going to be able to show you any painting. It's coming up to 7:30 already. There we are. I don't know if you can see what I'm doing there, but the bottom part here, that'll be his jaw going down, and I might add a couple of little toothpick tops, and once they're painted they'll be like sharp little teeth, you know. But what you can see is that'll be going in there, like so, and then you'll have a complete different miniature conversion. So I'll leave that for now. And also what I'm going to be doing is the base is going to have the Fimo clay, and I can do the base and I'll have him on the top. Now, what would you prefer me to do? Do you want me to carry on doing the base, or do you want me to start painting the miniatures? I can show you how to do how I do my little Fimo bases. Okay, I'll carry on with the base then. Yeah, I'll carry on with the base. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to carry on with the Fimo clay. Okay then. Okay, calm down. Base as it is. Now, this Fimo clay is amazing. Let me just show you the packet so you can look it up on the internet or whatever. This is called Fimo Air. Oh, sorry, Fimo Air Light, and it's air drying. I don't know if anyone can find a link to it anywhere. But what you need to do, once it's opened, you need a sealed container. You need an airtight sealed container. And as soon as you've opened that, get it into the box. I mean, I've had this open for quite a few months now, and no problems at all with it at all. And it dries very, very light. So it's not like air drying clay where it dries quite heavy. But of course it is more expensive than air drying clay. Now we've got two things we can do with the bases. We can make a rolling pin base using the rolling pin method. You can buy these from Mighty Lancer Games. I bought all mine from Mighty Lancer Games. Absolutely fantastic for making bases and towns and villages and all sorts of things. You can make walls and dungeons. Let me just get one out for you. Chatting away, I don't even show you what they are. There we go. Oh, they look beautiful as well. Look at that. So all you do with these rolling pins, if you want to make your perfect base, is I'll quickly show you. As we're going to be doing the bases, I'll quickly show you. I have done a video on this, but I will quickly show you this as well. All we're doing is, let's move in a bit closer so we can see what we're doing there. We get our Fimo clay, and we're going to use our base as a guide. And we're just pushing the clay over the base. It's super simple and easy to do. Now remember, this clay does have a little bit of shrinkage, so you want a bit of overlap, a couple of millimeters maybe. Just get your clay over there. And all you do is you roll your boat straight over. And look at this, absolutely beautiful. Instant base. And you can get all sorts of types. And what I do with that then is I'll use the base and I'll just cut around. I used to be a chef, so I used to take the icing off cakes, so just take it off. And you're done. And you can take that away from the base. You can take that away from the base and you can put that in the microwave, and for 30 seconds in the microwave, and it'll go instantly hard and be ready for painting. Beautiful. Okay, let me show you some more of those. So you got that one. No, sorry, Michelle, yes. Will it melt the base underneath? Yes, it will melt the base underneath. You have to put this in the microwave by itself. And also, it's very, very important, when you put this this Fimo clay into the microwave, you have to add a tiny little jug with some water in, because what happens is it can actually explode like plastic explosive. What it is, the moisture gets sucked out of the microwave for some reason, and if you haven't got the added moisture, this can kind of catch fire in your microwave. So it says. So always have a little bit of water in your microwave as well. In a jar, not poured over the microwave. Okay, so we got dungeon bricks. I'm gonna have to get some more bases now, aren't I? There's my bases. There we go. Got a square one. There's another 50. Okay, so we'll do the dungeon brick one for you to show you. Oh, welcome, Gorilla. Awesome. Yes, Gorilla with the brush is in stream. I'm going to be putting my little gloves on in a minute because I want to show you the miniatures that arrived today from him, and honestly, it will blow you all away. It blew me away. Absolutely amazing stuff. He is a painter. He is the pro painter. Honest to God. If nobody follows Gorilla with a Brush, he's got a YouTube channel, Alan O'Toole. If you put that in a search engine, I don't know if any of my moderators, if they're online, can put a link to his YouTube channel. Oh, Brian, sorry. What did I say? I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Damn you all. Okay, so this you got me confused now. This one is the bricks. Yes. So let's do the bricks. I mean, this would be perfect for your walls, but you can also use it as a pavement or anything like that. So again, you push down quite firmly, and I've worked out you only need to go across it once, because I showed a YouTube channel of me doing this, and I went back and forth. Don't do that because if you go back and forth, it makes it look doubled if it's not perfectly in line. But if it is in line like this, it really looks awesome. It's really beautiful. Thank you, Claire. I'm going to just leave that one off like that. I'm going to show you one more because I've only got one more of these ones. Like I say, you can buy all these from Mighty Lancer Games in the UK. There's a link below the stream to their shop. And if you become my patron, you get 10% off all purchases from Mighty Lancer Games. I'd buy that for $1. Okay, let's get some more Fimo clay. Okay, yeah. So just use your bases as a guide. I mean, just very simple. I mean, you can probably roll this out to about, I'd say, 2 to 3 millimeters thick. You don't even have to use the base underneath. Once it's dry, if you've got a nice round base, you don't need to use the bases for it. And so you'll be quite well using just as it is without any need for a secondary base underneath. What have we missed? Oh, what's this one? We've done the pavement. Here we go, cobblestone. Now, I went for the cobblestone because I like my dungeon crawler games, and cobblestones kind of fit more into my games for the castles and dungeons. That's quite true as well, eh, Gorilla? I was looking at your YouTube. You haven't posted anything for a while, have you? I see. You need to start doing that again. Okay, so cobblestones again. You just push quite hard and just go over the once. Never go back over your base, because I learnt the hard way. And if you go this way and then back again, unless it's exactly where you went forward, you'll have it imprinted backwards, and it looks like a double print. It looks like you're cross-eyed looking at the pavement. So there we are. That makes a lovely little dungeon effect for your tiles. Now you can use these for walls, for making buildings, anything. So these are absolutely worth every penny. And I know I'm promoting Mighty Lancer Games, but these are a very good buy if you want to make your own bases and make them unique to your games. And I think there's about 15 or 20 different types, all sorts. Fantastic stuff. They are really cool. Okay then, let's go on to my base. I've got to find another base now for my... I was going to make a rocky base for mine. Yeah. There we are. Now the bases I use, if anybody knows me, it's always going to be base boss bases by Reaper Miniatures. Well, they're actually base boss bases. Reaper Miniatures sells them. They're all part of Reaper Miniatures, so that's what I go for. And like I say, the links for all the sprues that I used today, you can go on to Reaper Miniatures, and they just type in weapons in their search engine, and you'll find all the different weapons and sprues you can use for conversions on all your miniatures. Okay, I need a little bit more of my Fimo clay now. Now, making bases is a fantastic thing to do, and it really gives that little bit extra to your miniatures. There's nothing wrong in painting the miniatures as they are. I mean, for a start, these ones I've primed today, they actually come with a nice little base. It's very simple, and they look fantastic. But I like to, especially with bosses or a miniature that's in charge, a champion or shaman, I like to add a bit more to that base. So all I do is the same as I do with the clay. I just work the base with the clay and add as I mean to go on. If you add in little chunks, this Fimo clay is really nice because it sticks together. It's like working with plasticine. I mean, as a kid, oh, I loved plasticine as a kid. I used to be crazy on the Incredible Hulk when I was a really young boy, and I used to make Hulk out of green clay. I'd have the little brown shorts, and I'd be running around the farm with my little He-Man, my little Hulk man. You're not going to be able to see this too well. What it is, my light reflects the white. Yes, Carlos, it does. When you add your own bases, it shows creativity. What's that about the bone golem, Michelle? Tell me more. I must have missed something there. Is it a competition during Reapercon that I don't know about? got you. Oh, I got you. Oh, right. Oh, right. I got you. Yes, I was wondering if they were going to do stuff like that, because normally they have the Reapercon competitions for painting, which is, I mean, you can only enter if you live in Texas, really, if you go to the actual Reaper Miniatures con, you know, which I could never enter that because I'm living in the UK. Okay, so this is the base so far. I mean, all I've done is added little lumpy bits. And what happens is, once that's dry, I'll take that off the base and I'll re-stick it to the base. And then I'll add PVA glue around all the areas there. And then I'll just add a little bit of sand. And then all you've got to do is paint over the top. But what we need to do is work out how our ogre is going to go on the base. Now, he should just fit nicely. So what we need to do is imprint where we want him, like so. And he'll be on there like that. And once that's all dry, see, I can glue him on. I can add that sand and PVA glue to the base. And once he's had that primer coat, it'll all blend in together. It's so simple to make your own bases, and like Carlos said, it's all creativity, and anybody that adds a little bit extra to their bases, it's worth the effort. Okay, what I'm going to do now is I am going to put some gloves on, and I'm going to show you the miniatures I was sent by Gorilla with a brush. Now, the reason why I'm putting these gloves on is because I respect his painting that much. I am not getting my dirty fingers on his miniature. Right then, let me... depends on the PVA glue, but I've had no problems with just the ordinary craft shop PVA glue. Yes, you can get peeling with them, but if you double coat the PVA glue, what you can do is you can base your miniatures with the PVA glue, and then you add your basic material, and what you can do is you can thin PVA glue with water. And I do that. I got it somewhere here. I did have it. It's just a little squirty bottle, and all you're doing is you're doing like a 50-50 mix of PVA and water, and you can spray that over the base of your miniatures as well, and that gives an extra bond to that base, and it's especially good if you're using grass effects. Okay, I'm going to show you the first miniature I was sent by Gorilla with a brush, and it is, once I get it in focus, everybody will recognize this one. This is Braveheart. There we go. I mean, wow. I mean, I knew Gorilla with a brush was amazing at painting, but when I opened the box today and saw these, I was like, Claire, pick me up. I mean, seriously. I mean, awesome. It's just dedication and commitment, love and passion. You can see it. It just oozes from everything he does. I mean, I have the love, commitment and passion as well, but it's not to this standard, and I will never go to this to this standard, because for a start, I don't have time, and it's just amazing. I am so honoured to have some of his work in my house, and it's so nice because I've been painting so many years, and I've never had a miniature from someone else of his quality, of his experience, then, should I say. It's just absolutely beautiful. Anyway, that's that one. I'm going to put that one back over there. Now, this is the Naga that he painted for Fanvril and Friends on the Twitter Friends paint that many people have been doing, including myself. And he sent this one to me, and I sent him the one I painted. And now I've received his one. I'm like, I mean, I'm really happy with the Nessie that I made and sent Girl Over Brush. But this, wow. I mean, I don't know if I can, let me see if I can zoom in on that. There we are. That's better. This is all freehand. See all the glyphs he's done? All freehand. It's just unreal. I think it's swimming across to you, Gorilla. Oh yeah, little UFO. A bit like Indiana Jones and the Raiders of the Lost Ark. If you watch that film closely, you can see on the walls in the pit where they find the Lost Ark, there's paintings, and there's C-3PO and R2-D2 are actually in the pit on one of the drawings. Anyway, let's zoom in a little bit more. I mean, look at that light source. Look at that. That's actually painted on. That's not my light reflected down. That is the light source that's the light source coming from the miniature. I mean, this to me as well. I mean, lots and lots of people learn from me how to do the basics of painting, and I am so happy teaching people how to do that, and it makes me very happy getting people into the beautiful hobby of miniature painting. But that does not mean I know everything, because I don't. And when I have things like this, the inspiration is incredible. I mean, what he's done there is inspiring. Absolutely beautiful. I mean, it gives you something to work for. I mean, I can seeing someone's work like this close up, you can see how he's done it. So now I'm like, oh, so that's how you do that. So now I know that I can copy. I can try and copy Gorilla with a brush. But that's how you learn. You learn from other people. You have to respect each other in your painting. You never think you're better than anyone else. Because we all know how fantastic other people are. Just be happy with what you do. I mean, it took me a long time to realise. My hands are all sticky now, these horrible rubber clubs. It took me a long time to realise that I paint to a tabletop standard. They're fantastic for what I do, but I'm not in a battle with all these people on Twitter. You know, it seems to be there's a huge competition in miniature painting. Never think that. Paint because you love it. Paint because you enjoy it. Yes, it is. It's a community. I mean, and this is what's fantastic about my patrons. I mean, we all help each other. Everybody in my community, we all love and support each other for our painting. And it doesn't matter if you've been painting a day, or you've been painting a year, or 30 years. To me, we are all equals. I mean, Gorilla with a Brush, you know that's blown me away. You can tell by the way I'm talking about it. But because he's so humble about his painting, we love him even more. If you're a miniature painter and you disrespect everybody else because you're like, oh, I'm the best. Nah, I got no time for you. We all look after each other, and that's painting is a hobby, nothing more. Okay, I've got about 8 minutes left, so there's no point me starting these today. So if you have any questions, you could ask me a few questions before the end of the show. Yeah. Yes, Gorilla, totally agree. I mean, this is why, you know, what you've done for my channel and the inspiration you've given us all, it is absolutely phenomenal. And to be honest, how many people like yourself would bother? I mean, you're not asking for anything in return. You're happy to help everybody on the channel, and that takes a heart of gold. That really is something very, very special. Ugh, cold coffee. That's disgusting. Now, I'm going to be doing a special little show with Michelle and Claire, and that's going to be tomorrow. It's going to be a YouTube video because it's going to be a Zoom meeting, and it's going to include the little boxes that Michelle sent me as a gift, and Claire as a gift, and we want to thank everybody, including Michelle, about these lovely boxes. So we're going to do a little chat with Michelle to thank her for her support and being so awesome, and that'll be tomorrow night. I'll be doing that little recording, so it might be later on in the week that we actually show the stream. No. The boxes are awesome, honestly, Andy. I mean, it blew me away. Everything blows me away what you guys do. It's so fantastic having such support from everybody. We are like a huge family in the Goblins of Mordor. I mean, the Discord channel is just buzzing 24/7. It's just an amazing thing. Yes, I thought some of you must know something about it, because I had a card and it was like signed by everybody. So everybody must have known about it, or of some form. Yeah, sneaky goblins, sneaky little goblins. What I'll do with these miniatures anyway is I will get the conversion finished, and what I'll do is I will post this video once. I'll download this stream, and then once I've finished the conversion, I'll add it to the stream and then upload it onto YouTube so you can see the finished miniatures. Well, if Claire knew anything, she's very good at secrets, because she never told me anything. I had no idea. I had no idea what was happening on my birthday. Honest to God, I didn't. Yeah, that was so awful. That was awful that I knew about her box, but I didn't know about mine. Oh my God, that was crazy. Absolutely crazy. If you have any, if any of you have any ideas for shows in the future, please let me know on Patreon or Discord or Twitter or Twitch. Just give me a heads up, because with the live shows, these are a lot harder to do than doing a YouTube video. But if I got lots of content that you want doing, I can make it into multiple sections. Like today I was planning on painting these ogres, but we started on the conversions and we've moved on to something else, which is fantastic, because that makes the stream even better, because it's something it's just something out of the box, you know. You're not having to think about what you're doing. It's like, oh, do this and I can just show you. Thank you all for turning up for another stream. I was only, I was expecting maybe 2 or 3 people. But it's doing very well. Doing very well. Incredible. Like I say, I'll still be sticking to doing the miniature streams on the Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays. I do a little bit of gaming, but that's just for my own pure enjoyment. So I'll be playing a little bit of Ark and doing all sorts of different things. Okay, have you got any questions before I say goodnight to you all? Oh, this I just put this on this. I just pulled this out of the box, Carlos. I just put my hand. It's like a lucky. My base box is like a lucky dip. It's got you got your 1-inch bases in there, 50 mils, 75s, 100s, 120s, 130s. So I just get my hand in there and pull out whatever comes first. And this is just having to be a 50 base boss, which is nice. Once again, thank you all for turning up. I know my streams are a little bit different, and I know it can be quite difficult to watch someone else painting, but it is really nice that you're all popping in to say hello to me, and my confidence is building on every stream. Today I haven't shaken too much, so it's getting better. So when I do finally start painting, I should be okay. So I'll say goodnight to everybody, and thank you all for tuning in, and love to all of you. So I'll say goodnight.